Hi there, thank you for joining me today. I'm Sandra at artypapercrafters.com and today I've got this gorgeous little project for you. It's a big box for Christmas, of course, and it uses this gorgeous embellished ornament stamp set which I love. Now I saw a little box like this in the Stampin' Up catalogue. There were no measurements in it, it was just a picture, and it was very similar to this. And I thought I'd love to make one of those because at Christmas time I love to put things under the tree for the two men in my life, the two men being my husband and my son. And this will hold lots of nice little treats that I shall buy during November and put in this little box, and it'll look lovely under the tree. So I have had a go at stamping this. Now I've used two different coloured inks on this, but I'm not quite happy with the two different coloured inks. I think it would look better in one ink. So today we're going to recreate this using one ink. So let's crack on and get started with this. So today I'm going to use garden green cardstock because I've tried to do sort of manly colours, but my son always says to me, Mum, Christmas is red, green and gold to me, no other colours. So that's why I've done it in these colours. So I've just realised that I forgot to get my measurements. So bear with me. Oh, I'm not organised here, am I? Right, here we go. I've got them now. So this is a piece of garden green cardstock. All the measurements will be on my blog, and we are going to score it at 2.5 inches on all four sides. So that's nice and easy. So that's the base of our box, and now I'm going to bring in the lid because we're going to do our stamping on that in a moment. So for the lid I'm using Very Vanilla, and we're going to score that on all four sides at 2 inches. So again, nice and easy. Right, so that's all our scoring done. So we're going to put the board out of the way, and now we're going to do some lovely stamping. So I've prepped up on my block the long teardrop shaped stamp from this set, and we're going to use real red ink. So I don't know how this is going to go, but it's just an experiment. So I don't want to stamp all over my paper, so I've got a piece of scratch paper. Now, to start off with, we need to start stamping along here, but we leave our edge pieces, we don't stamp on them, and I'll explain why in a moment. So let's get that out of the way. Real red ink. And I'm starting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the top here, leaving that 2-inch strip blank, and I'm going to stamp like that. So we've got one teardrop. And then I'm going to stagger them. Am I going to stagger them? No, I don't think I am going to stagger them. Like that. And then we're going to go in between where we've stamped. and this is where we go on this part here. So again, in between, and it won't matter if you go into that little box here because that gets tucked and folded in anyway. So that looks good to me. So now what I'm going to do, I want to just fill those two little spaces in. So I'm just going to fold that over out of the way while I just stamp that down. So make sure you've got your scratch paper there, and we're just going to go in between there. Press down, and obviously we've got to do the same on the opposite side. Sorry about the noise. Stamp that down. And that's good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn it to the side and have this facing us, because what happens is when you start making your box, building your box together, you want the baubles to show the side that they're on. So what I'm doing is I'm stamping that there. And now what I want to do now is I just want to put my scratch paper under there, because I don't want to have the same look all the way along. I want to do it so that I've got the different part of the bauble. So I'm now going to go off on this paper, but we won't worry about it. So in between now, there is what I want, like that. And then this one again is going to be about the same place as the first one, like that. And so now we've got to turn that round to this side, paper underneath, because we don't want to make a mess of the underside of our box. So the same again, I'm going to go there, and I really do love this stamp set. It is so pretty. And if you're wondering what I'm doing off camera here, this is my Stampy scrub. So that's the wet side, the damp side where the little teardrops are, and that's the dry side where you dry it off, and that's what I keep doing every time I go off camera to the front. So fold it that way, and now you can see that we need to just do our last one. So let's just fold that down, tuck that under again. Into the ink. Lovely. So that's finished that off. So now we can get rid of that scratch paper, and that's our stamping done, because we don't need the corners done because they're going to get folded in. So now we're going to make our lid up, when I can find my bone folder and my scissors. So now we're going to burnish our score lines that we've made. And if you think, well, what will my son and husband do with this box afterwards? Well, what my son will do is he'll say, here you are, Mum, you can have your box back, and you can give me it back next year with some more treats in it. And I shall say, oh, okay then. But what my husband will do, no, he will be cleverer than that. He will keep it, and the following Christmas I'll get it filled up with treats. So it'll take a year before I get it back again, but that's what he'll do. So the usual thing with our box, we cut up into the corners and just get a nice little wedge out so that our box will fold up nicely. Like that. Let's get rid of these bits. And so now I'm going to put some tape on here because I want this to close well, and I also want it to stay stuck nicely. So a bit of tape, and I've just noticed that I didn't take that to the edge, so I'll now have to do that. So I think I've gone the long way around about doing that, but so and this time I'm just going to put it on this outer part here and the bottom here, and that is good and sticky and will make sure that our box stays nice firmly together. So again on the opposite sides. And I think it's always good to, when you buy these stamp sets, is to try and find different ways of using them. And of course, I'm here to give you the ideas. Because you don't want to just use a stamp set once and then put it in the cupboard and forget about it. You shouldn't do that. You need to use it over and over again. Bring it out every year and make something different with it every year. So take our bits off. So this corner is going to be good and stuck with all this stuff on it. I think I've probably gone over the top, but never mind. Get rid of these bits which I probably find stuck to myself. So I'm going to start with this one in the corner here. I'm going to secure that down. And secure this one down. So it's good and easy to fit this together into the corner. And that is the lid of our box done, and I think I prefer that better. And as you see it, when you turn it round, each side is decorated nicely and is facing up the right way. So I think that's pretty. So that's the lid of our box done. So now let's make up the base of our box in the same way. And so I think this measures 6 inches by 6 inches. So that's a really good a really good size for a box, I think. Fit lots and lots of little treats for anyone, really. So the same thing again, we cut up into the corners and take a little wedge out. Right. And do the same thing on here with our tape. Oh, I haven't put tape on here. There was me thinking that it was all done. And the same again, put our box together in the usual way, lining up the corners nice and tight. And then hopefully, if we've done it right, we put our treats inside. And what I might do is I might put another piece of card which measures just a fraction under 6 by 6, just to reinforce the bottom before I put my treats in. And then our lid goes on nice and snugly, lovely fit. And I think you'll agree already that looks lovely. Now what I've decided, I'm not sure whether I want to go down that colour ribbon or whether I want to do this colour ribbon. So now I know you're all screaming at me, but I can't hear you to which colour to use. Now I'm not sure about that. I've got that bauble to go on. Like that. So I don't know, it's a dilemma, isn't it? This ribbon is so pretty, this red, and it's sort of got like a crocheted edge. It's so pretty. And you know what? I think I do think I like this red, so we're going to go red. So we need to pull a bit off, and I'm going to put my ink away because I don't want to dip my ribbon in that. So we go underneath our box. And pull that round like that. hold on. I think what I'll do is measure my length first, because I'm struggling here and we're not having that. So cut my length and a bit for a bow. I'm going to cut that there. So that's the length I need. So now we're going to start again. I'm going to put it underneath the top, and you won't be able to see this, but I'm going to put the two ends together, and then I'm going to pull that up so that I know that I have now got the middle of my ribbon. Put that under like that and pull it like that neatly, coming up and round the top, back on itself, and now we're going to tie a bow. Well, we're going to try to on camera anyway. And that's not looking half bad, is it? Pretty pleased with that. And then I'm going to get some nice tails by putting those together, and then cut across at an angle, and don't chop your crocheted bit off, and you'll find that that stays nice like that. Turn that round and I'll show you that again. Fold it in half like that, cut across at an angle, and don't cut into that crocheted part, and look, beautiful. So that's that part of the box done. Now we're going to do a bit of gold heat embossing on. I've cut these two little baubles using my little matching framelets from the set. So I cut that out, one of those out, and one of those using my big shot. And we're now going to gold emboss our sentiment on that part of it. So let's put that to one side and bring in our scratch paper again. And we're going to get our Versamark and our embossing buddy and our gold Stampin' Emboss. And we're going to emboss our sentiment. So embossing buddy to get any static or grease off. Sentiment I've prepped up is with loving wishes for a bright and beautiful season. So put that in our Versamark. That looks good to me. Stamp it on our bauble. That looks good. Put that away. Put that over the top. Brush that off. That looks good. Just get rid of this. I always have this stuff everywhere. I should be finding it on my desk for days. I seem to be using so much of this embossing powders in different colours now that it's autumn. Right, it's going to get noisy, so if you want to turn down your sound, I don't want to deafen you. And then we're going to bring in, I'm just warming it up at the moment so that it gets good and hot. I'm just going to hold that with my pokey tool, so we'll be there in a minute. I love doing this. I love this embossing. I really do. I love seeing it come to life. It's just so pretty. And there it is, look, coming to life. I love it. Really, really love it. I think that's done now. So that's good. Put that out of the way. So now we are going to attach that to our gift. And we are going to use a little dimensional And we're just going to attach that to the side, lining up our little tops of our baubles like that, so that that sticks on there like that. And now I've got a bit of gold cord, and I can find it. We're going to attach that on with some gold cord. So cut the length of that off. I think that might be enough, don't need it too long. And before I do that, I've got this sequin trim which I really like, so I'm going to cut a bit of that off as well, just to make our box look really pretty under the tree. Lovely. So I'm going to attach that, and the way I've done that, you've got your line of stitching underneath that holds it together, and then you've got your decorative part at the top. So what I've done is I've wound it underneath, brought that round, wound it back under, under there, and then when you bring that back up the right way, it will face the right way. And then we just turn that, get hold of that and turn that round so that that also faces the right way, like that. And I think you'll agree that that really does add something extra to it. So now we're going to just pull our bow up a bit, make it look pretty, and then I'm just going to put my cord underneath and tie that into a little knot like that. Tie those ends off, and then just pull that knot round so that you tuck it away underneath the ribbon so that you can't see an ugly knot. And that is our box done. So let's bring in the other one, and I think that you'll agree that that looks better, with the baubles all facing in the right direction. And I've just noticed that I forgot to put my little jewels, and I've just popped some jewels on the middle of these baubles just to finish it off like that. And I think I'll even pop one on this side here like that. Come on now, you know you want to go there. And another one opposite it, otherwise it's going to look odd, isn't it? So I think that that's a beautiful way to finish a box. I really do, and I hope you'll have a go at it too. And do let me know what you think of my projects, because I really do love to hear from you all. So until the next time, if you want the measurements for this, that it will be on my post on my website, pop over there, or click in that little down arrow and click on the project details, and that will take you over. So until the next time, it's bye for now. Bye.